Hey you guys, today I'm just going to do a little quick review of this show I just got caught up on. Shout out to Brandy PR Chick for putting it on her status on Facebook because I never had heard of this show called The Get Down on Netflix. And when I say this show is really, really good, I hope they bring a part 2 to this because it was really good and it gives you like more insight into hip hop, real hip hop. Y'all know me, I love music, so this was like the right show for me to talk about. And I'm not going to talk about each individual episode and individual reviews. I'm just going to talk about the whole show in one, so it might take a little time. But I really, really like the show. It's like has a group of kids living, I think, in the Bronx, New York, and they trying to. It has a lot of different stories into this show, and I'm going to talk about it, but it's really, really good. Let me talk about the characters. You have Zeke, Ezekiel. You have Shiloh, Fantastic, Rara, Marlene, Boo Boo. Who else is it? Okay, I wrote a list down on who it is. Okay, so it's Ezekiel, Shiloh, Fantastic. Then you have Dizzy, played by Jaden Smith, and I was like so surprised to see him in this show. I never even knew he was in this show, but he surprised the hell out of me on here. But yeah, Jaden Smith was in it. Jimmy Smith, who played Francisco Papa Preta, I don't know his last name. But oh my god, I love me some Jimmy Smith. I think he is a fantastic actor that can get it. I'm just saying. I love me some Jimmy Smith. He can act his ass off. I really loved him in Sons of Anarchy. Ooh. But he's a really, really good actor, and I mean, he is like a charmer to the women. I promise he is. You have Rara, who played by Skyline Brooks, and every time I see him play in something, all I can see him is looking like he want to cry. I promise he always look like he want to cry. Who else? Mylan Cruz, beautiful. She's beautiful. She was played by Horizon. I think that's how you pronounce it. Then you had Cadillac. He was an asshole. He was asshole. He was the son of Fat Annie. I love me some Fat Annie. She's played by Lilas White. I loved her character. I don't know why. I just did. Boo Boo. He loved to fight. Boo Boo and Rara is brothers. And Dizzy. Them three are brothers. And then they have a sister named Regina. I think that's her name. And she's one of my line's best friend. Then you had Yolanda is Rara's sister. And then they also have a friend named Regina. That's the Hispanic girl. I don't want to say nothing wrong. So the Hispanic girl. Then you had Grandmaster Flash, DJ Cool Herc was up in it. Who else was up in it? Like I said, Fat Annie. You had Marlene's mom and dad. They were in it. You had Boo Boo and them parents was in it. But it was a really, really good show. They had this guy named Jackie who played the producer. He played the hell out of the producer. Miss Green played the teacher. But let me get into like each episode and tell you what this story is about. So Zeke is a young man that his parents had died when he was younger, and I guess he had saw his mama get shot or something like that. Either he saw it or he heard it. But he wrote this poem at school, and his teacher wanted him to read this poem at school, and he didn't want to read it. And at first I was like, what? Maybe he can write and he just can't read. You know what I'm saying? Because some people like that. They can't really read back what they wrote and, articulate it well. So That's what I thought, but it wasn't that. When he finally read the poem, it was about his mom getting killed, and the bullet was meant for his dad. And then 6 months later, his dad got killed. So he was saying how, the politicians didn't care. They never even looked for the killers. It wasn't about them, but the politicians were still going on with life and not even really looking for the killers up in for his parents. And he talked about, like, through the whole 6 episodes, he's rapping about his city and what goes on in their neighborhood and stuff like that. So I really thought that was really good and important, and it made you had to pay attention. Um, Ezekiel likes Mylene. Mylene is like one of his best friends he grew up with. He plays in her church. She's like the good girl of their crew, and she plays in church, but she also wants to sing really, really bad disco music. And she feels like if she gets her music out there, then she can get out of the Bronx and get out of her daddy's church, because her daddy is a pastor and he's really, really strict. But she also has this uncle played by Jimmy Smits, and he's like a pimp, or they called him the pimp of poverty or something. He like give back to the community, but he's still like the drug lord. He still do his little bad little dealings, but he still give back to the community. You know, we all got one of those. I'm just saying. But so her dad and Jimmy Smith's character is brothers. So one is a pastor and one is like it's like sin and saint. You know what I'm saying? So. But Jimmy Smith's character, Francisco, he ended up helping Mylene once her daddy, like, because her daddy didn't want her to sing. He wasn't here for the street life music and stuff like that. So she ended up sneaking out, and she ended up going to the club at this first episode. She ended up going to the club because she wanted this guy, this DJ, to play her song, because she felt like if she just get this DJ to play her song, she's going to blow up. So they end up sneaking in this club. And Zeke ended up sneaking in the club too, because Zeke wanted to take her out on a date and get with her, but she was like, no, I'm going to the club with my friends to get all my music out and stuff like that. And so Zeke got dressed up. He went to who was it? Rara, because that's the only one I really remember his name. Yeah, he went to Rara. Rara helped him steal his daddy clothes, and they end up going to the club. And well, he told him he had to go by himself to get his girl. So he ended up going to the club to get her and stuff like that. So it was funny. But before he ended up getting to the club, he ended up running into Shalom Fantastic. This was their first encounter. They had to get this. Zeke wanted this record to play at the club so he can dance with Mylan. And Shalom Fantastic wanted this record because he was doing this like quest for DJ Flash to be like his little protege or whatever he was being, and he had to go on these little quests, and DJ Flash quest was to get this record. But when they went to the record store, they had to get this. They both wanted the same record. He wanted it for his girl, he wanted it for DJ Flash. It was so funny because they end up in this like lie, and they was fighting over the record. It was so funny because you can tell Shalom Fantastic couldn't fight. You could just tell he really wasn't that fighter type dude. Because he was like, I'm gonna kill you, I'm gonna hurt you. I was like, you ain't gonna do nothing, stop lying. So he ended up getting him in the club. He was like, I can get you in the club, because he kept on getting throughout. He kept trying to get in the club, and the bouncer kept telling Zeke, like, if you ain't got no woman on your arm, you ain't coming in this club. So Shalom Fantastic ended up getting him in the club, and they ended up becoming friends. And while they were in the club ended up getting shot up by this crew, and they were after Fat Annie and Cadillac. I thought they were just after Cadillac, but apparently they were after Fat Annie too. And so that had happened, and he ended up saving her and stuff like that. So let me tell you what else happened on part. Okay. Because I have to keep looking at my phone to tell y'all what happened. So, anyway, the club got shot up. They got to figure out who did it or whatever. So, they end up finding out who did it. And it was like this little young crew. So, the police, was working with Fat Annie. He told her who did it or whatever, and so she sent the thing a hit to get him. The kids that did it. So they in Cadillac and what's his name? I wrote it down. Cadillac and Lil Wolf. They end up going to go and get the boys or whatever. They were saying, let's scare the kids into telling us who put the hit out on Fat Annie. So when one of the little boys, he got real scared and he was about to tell, and then Lil Wolf ended up making Cadillac shoot the little boy in the head or whatever. They was like, he was trying to wrestle with him or whatever to get he was acting like he was getting the gun away from him, but come to find out, Little Wolf is the one that put the damn hit on Fat Annie. I said, oh my God. So they've been looking for one boy they shot, and the other boy ended up getting away. So the whole couple of episodes, they were looking for this boy named Napoleon. So Little Wolf had told, he had caught Shalom Fantastic still trying to like look at some records, steal some records or whatever. So he was like, you bring Napoleon straight to me. So when they finally found Napoleon, Napoleon ended up telling them that it was a guy with a red car that smoked cigars is the one that put the hit out on Fat Annie. So they knew exactly who it was, and it was Little Wolf. So they ended up taking the little boy to instead of taking him to the whoop, he ended up taking him straight to Fat Annie. Fat Annie ended up confronting Lil Wolf and shot his ass in the leg, and then made Shalom Fantastic finish it off. So I was like, well, yeah, that's what happens in the streets. Like, that's what happens. But it was, that part was really, really good, because I thought it was Cadillac. I don't know why. I don't know that's his mama, but I felt like he was tired of being his mama little bitch boy, and his Cadillac was getting mad at Shalom Fantastic for always being with his mama and kissing his mama. So I thought he was gonna be the one to put a hit on the mama, but he wasn't. What else happened on this show? Mylan, she's trying to get her music off, so she's fighting with her daddy and getting her music off, and then her uncle was helping her on the slide. So he ended up coming in contact with this producer that owed him a lot of money or whatever to help his niece. And I like the episode where her mama helped her go get this dress made, and he had a producer coming to the church to look at her sing. Her daddy was being real scandalous, and I guess he noticed that the producer was there for her, so he stopped her from doing her solo, and he let this girl that couldn't sing worth a lick go up there and sing. And when the producer was leaving out the church, my mom was like, I'm not letting this opportunity pass me by. And she started stumping, and she bust out in that old hooker dress, and she started singing, and the choir was singing with her. I was here for it, but she still had on a hooker dress in the church house. I'm just saying. But yeah, her daddy ass ended up putting her ass out about that. So she didn't have no choice but to go live with her friends. And I like how her friends, Rara and her mama, ended up letting her stay there while she was dealing with her parents or whatever. They didn't just leave her out on the streets. But the parents Rara and their parents ended up going out of town, right? So they over there, they finally, okay, I'm going too fast. On first episode, Zeke ended up going to this party with Shalom Fantastic. He was like, you want to see this bomb party? I'm going to take you to this bomb party, because Mylan had cussed out Zeke about some shit. And then, she was calling him scary because he don't like to face his fear. He didn't like to be outspoken and stuff like that. So she had went off on him and was like, I can't get with you, because he was a thirst bucket. He was acting like Fizz on Nicki Baby on Love and Hip Hop. But he was trying to get with her, and she was like, I don't want a relationship with you. We're friends, but I don't want a relationship with you because I'm trying to get my music off the ground. So he was getting mad. He ended up getting high and drunk with Shalom Fantastic, and he took him to this party. So it was like an 8 Mile situation where the host for Grandmaster Flash, he ended up trying to say, whoever got the best rhymes, y'all come up here and spit. And so his friends pushed him up there, and I promise it was like an 8 Mile situation, because he got all choked up, didn't say nothing. So people start clowning his ass. And Shalom Fantastic had to end up saving him. And then I guess he saw how Shalom Fantastic ended up saving him. So he started, he got the mic and he spit. And then they became like the Fantastic 4+1, because it was them plus Shalom Fantastic as being their DJ. He was the dude that did the rhyme. So they had their little crew. So I was like, that's cool. So Zeke is trying to work on his music, and him trying to get out there with Shalom Fantastic as being this DJ. And then you have Mylan and her two homegirls trying to be these singers and stuff like that. So it's just a really, really good show of seeing these young people trying to make it, and the adversities they have to go through with Mylan and her parents, and then the other kids, Zeke stayed with his auntie and uncle, and his uncle was really, really hard on him, but I like how at the end he just gave him the words of encouragement to keep on going and let him know you wasn't raised like these everybody else in the neighborhood. Your mama wanted better for you, and that's what you gonna give her. I like that about that uncle, because at first I was hating the hell out of him. They end up having a party because they was trying to get all this equipment and stuff. And they end up having a party. I might be all over the place. But they end up having a party, and it was a house fire for, I'm going to just call him Fantastic, because that 2 words should drain it. But it was a fire. His little apartment, little studio thing burnt down. So he got mad at the crew and stopped hanging with them. So they end up trying to get this money up to get this equipment. And when they couldn't get the money up, they bought DJ Flash tape that was at this shop that somebody tried to sell the man. And then they tried to perpetrate as these DJs. So they was perpetrating at these DJs, charging people to get in. They was perpetrating DJ Flash. So this crew came in and jacked up the Robert and their mama's shop where they was having a party at, because you can't be doing that. You can't be perpetrating people and getting money and all this kind of stuff. So I was kind of here for them boys tearing up the shop and teaching them the young boys ass a lesson. And what I did like, because when Fantastic found out about what they were doing, he got pissed off. He wasn't fucking with them no more. And that kind of woke them up. And it kind of woke them up for Rara to go to his parents and tell the truth. Because at first, they had an episode where they had a big blackout in New York. It had, got real hot. Everything, all the electricity had went out for a day or 2 or something like that. And they were looting. It was a lot of looting. So they told their parents that it was some looters that did the shop like that so they wouldn't get in trouble. But Rara ended up fessing up, and I like that about him, that he ended up fessing up. And then his daddy was going to kick his ass, but his mama and his daddy realized that he told the truth, so they didn't really trip on him. What else happened? Oh, that scene where, because Francisco kept on telling Jackie to come up with a song for Mylan. Because nobody in the industry is fucking with Jackie. He is a scam artist. He a cokehead. He everything under the sun. And Mylan knows this, but Mylan wants to get her. She want to sing so bad. She know he a good producer. So she was working with him of not telling her uncle that he was a cokehead. He was smoking up all the damn money and stuff like that. So she was lying to her uncle so her uncle wouldn't kill the producer dude, because he was doing this for a favor for her uncle. And I like when he had that overdose, her friend rushed into action and saved his life, and it kind of changed him. It really kind of changed him, because he knew that if he didn't get that song off of that girl, that Francisco was gonna kill him. So I like how he kind of interacted with them. That was kind of cool. All while this is going on, it's this guy named Ed Cott is running for something. He running for mayor, I think. Yeah. And he's trying to get the inner city to vote for him, and he needs Francisco to be on his side to get this vote. But Francisco needs, the people in New York and Manhattan and stuff, and these people on his board, because he needs them in his pocket. He needs to be in their pockets too, so he can get construction for his community. He wants the housing to be knocked down and built houses. And he said because if people feel like they have houses, they have something to live for and work for. So I thought that was cool. You know what I'm saying? As bad as he might be, I love how he was there for his community. When they found out that the boys was perpetrating Flash, and they came up and fucked up his shop, Fantastic ended up getting banned for that by Flash. Flash didn't want to deal with him no more, and so in order to get back in his good graces, they had to find out who was bootlegging these tapes of Flash. Come to find out, it was DJ Kool Herc's little homeboy that was bootlegging both parties. He was bootlegging both of them and selling them to whoever was going to buy them on the streets. And that rhyme was so tight how we gonna call him Zeke no more, because by episode 2 Zeke had turned into Books. His name went from Zeke to Books because Fantastic called him Books because he's book smart and stuff. And they had the Grandmaster Flash had gave them this other assignment to do, and he gave them this purple crayon. So they didn't know what to do with this purple crayon, because the first episode they had to get the album for Grandmaster Flash. The second episode, it was a purple crayon, and they had to figure out what was it about this crayon. And so Books was the only one that figured out that crayon had meant about him lining up the album on certain places you're supposed to stop and go on a record or whatever. So that was cool. I liked how Grandmaster Flash had came over there and he walked around the house, and then he put the record back on, and he said it was about timing, and that timing was so perfect. I was here for it. Like I told y'all, I'm a hip hop fan, like, to the max. What else happened? It was good. I'm just gonna tell y'all to watch this show. If I missed something, y'all can tell me about it. But I'm telling y'all, the end when they had to do, because DJ Herc has told them. Is his name DJ? Yeah. DJ Kool Herc had told them, like, back in our day, it was about battles, rap battles and stuff. Instead of fighting, we put it on a mic and stuff like that. So he told his crew, the little boys, little DJs that's coming up on his side, to battle DJ Grandmaster Flash crew or whatever. So at the final episode, they had this rap battle. And before the rap battle, they were scared that Books wasn't going to show up, because Books had an engagement with these politicians and Francisco to be the face of the ghetto. So as he was listening to this old bastard, Ed Koch, talk about the ghetto and talk about how he was going to arrest people, have people arrested that was doing graffiti, and Books was listening to this, and so he had made this speech, and he was naming everything about how these taggers, he was calling out all their names, and the people of the ghetto was there, and they heard it, and I like how they got what he was saying. And, he was just saying the youth is not the problem, we're the solution. And I totally agree with that. It's not always the youth that's just always the fucked up people. If they be taught on the way to go, then we can have a better world. The episode that tripped me out, or the part that tripped me out, was Jaden Smith's part, Dizzy. I guess he feel like we got all these rumors anyway, because he was like the free child, the bird, the one that spray painted on the walls and stuff like that in the tunnels. And he met this guy named Thor, this white guy named Thor, and Thor is real free. Thor ended up taking him to a party where they was doing e-pills, and they was real free. And Dizzy ended up kissing the girl, and then turned around to the boy. I said, I want to see. I just want to see. And we saw. They was trying to play it out like we wasn't going to see it, but we saw. I ain't mad, but that was your come out story? I'm just saying. But, overall, like I said, it was really good. I like how it came together of the pastor taking his daughter back because he was going, ooh, it was a scene. I don't know, maybe he be acting like Francisco was acting like it was a secret going on that I didn't know about because I guess used to mess around with Marlene's mom, and Marlene's mom used to be, I guess, a thought back in the day, and used to mess with him, and then she broke up with him to be with the daddy, the pastor. But the pastor got secrets because he tried to go. She wouldn't when it was a blackout or whatever. She went to go talk to Francisco about getting her family back together and not helping her daughter and staying out their lives and stuff like that. And so they had a little moment, and where he was saying like he hasn't slept. He had sex with girls, but he never let nobody sleep in his bed with since I guess they broke up. He was like, I always go to bed alone and stuff like that. He ended up giving her some money for their family. So her husband found the money, and he wanted to go and confront his brother. And when they went to go confront the brother, the daughter was there, so it was a big blow up. And Francisco ended up telling the pastor all the pastor's secrets of how he tried to kill somebody. He had some kids he had left, and it was just all kind of secrets. But next thing you know, the producer ended up bringing them together because he didn't. I guess he saw the light, and he ended up bringing them together and said that Marlene was going to be the first Puerto Rican like gospel artist that with disco to bring the gap together with the world and the church and stuff like that. And that ended up making the pastor, tell her she can come back home and they be back a family and stuff like that. But at the end of it's episode 6, I didn't get it. So maybe I can explain when the mama and Francisco was hugging at the end, and I don't know, maybe because he kept his word of making her a star and bringing her home and a family, but it was just weird for that to play out like that at the end. But that's all I got. Y'all tell me what y'all thought about it if you guys seen The Get Down. I really, really liked it. Like I said, I hope Netflix make a part 2 and we can see more into the history of somebody else, or, they do the history. I don't want it to be on the West Coast. I really liked it being on the East Coast. I'm just saying. But I seen that Nas was one of the executive producers, so shout out to Nas. But like I said, shout out to everybody that played a part in this movie, because you guys did that. Y'all played that part at the rap DJ battle. They came up. I'm sorry, I'm just keep remembering things. But Rara came up with this idea for all the boys to have a verse up in this battle. Even though it was a DJ battle, it just killed it. It killed it. And then they really, really killed it when they put Mylan's song mixed with it. So and then the way he mixed it, it was everything. Oh, before I go, because I know y'all gonna be like, you forgot about that nasty ass lady. What's her name? Leslie Lexgo. She was a music person, and if she didn't say your music was hot, then none of the DJs played it. She was like the type of person can blackball your music. So she had a bad dealings with the producer, with Jackie. So was she a transsexual? I don't know, because she looked like she was making him give her head. I don't know. I was confused. Y'all might can tell me. Yeah. But she wouldn't play his music. But how the music got played is because when Dizzy went to the little free party, he had the DJ that's real known, DJ Picasso or something like that, play the song. And they say once the gays like a song, then it's a hit. You know what I'm saying? And that's what happened. Once the gays liked the song, it was a smash everywhere. So that's how she blew up. Like I said, if I missed anything, I'm just let it go. If I missed anything, y'all can put it down in the comment section. But like I said, it was really, really good. I enjoyed everybody that played in it. Y'all tell me what y'all thought. Follow me on all social media by The Ghetto View, THA, not THE. But once again, you can find The Get Down on Netflix. That's where I found it at. I don't know no other place, but that's where I found it at. And I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Peace.